Once you understand how to create tweens inside of Flash, it's time to go to the next level and understand how to nest a movie within a movie. What you can do is you can create a movie clip or a timeline that has something happening, and then you can put that inside of another timeline and have that repeat over and over. Now, let me help you understand what that means a little bit more. First of all, I have a simple animation I drew of someone walking. Okay, so you can see the stick figure, and it just kind of shows the motion of them walking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select these frames, and I'm going to copy these frames. Now, with these frames selected and copied, I'm going to go up to Insert, New Symbol, and I want to create a movie clip. So I make sure that movie clip is selected, and I'm going to call this Walking _MC. The _MC stands for movie clip, and later on, if you get into a lot of action scripting, you want to use different symbols at the, or different word letters at the end to indicate what type of clip you're using. So I'm just doing walking _MC. The MC refers to movie clip. I go ahead and click OK. What this has done is it's cleared out my timeline. Actually, it's created a new timeline called Walking MC, and it has an icon right here that indicates that this is a movie clip, and it's inside of scene 1. So what I'm going to do is come up here, and I'm going to paste my frames. With my frames pasted in there, I can see I have this moving. Now, that looks alright. I'm going to go ahead and click on scene 1. When I click on scene 1, I still have the same thing that was there before, but inside of my library, if I click on library, I can see I have Walking MC, the movie clip that I've created. I can select this and I can push play on it. Now what I want to do is I want to move this movie clip, and if the library is not shown, you can always go up to Window and go down to Library, or you can press Ctrl L on the keyboard. So I'm going to drag this movie clip from the library onto the stage. Let me close out of this. And I want to preview what is happening when I do this. To preview, I'm just going to press Ctrl and Enter on the keyboard. And you can see I have the one image walking, and then I have my movie clip here for just a split second. Let me close out of this. It keeps flashing on and off. What is happening, let me delete this movie clip, is the movie clip is only on this frame. So I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to call this Walking _MC, so I can tell which one is which. And on this layer, I'm going to go back to my library and insert in my walking movie clip. Now I've done this. Let me preview, Control Enter. And so you can see I have both characters walking. It looks kind of the same. In fact, it really is the same because we copied the frames from one to the other. But what we can do is we can extend out our movie clip timeline, and I'm going to extend that out to here. I'm going to add a new keyframe, and I'm going to add a motion tween. I right click and add motion tween, and I can move this character from this point down to this point. And so now if I scroll through, you can see the image is moving. When you create a movie inside of Flash, it doesn't actually play the movie until you preview it, but you can see the motion that is going when this image goes from one side to the other. To preview it, press Control Enter, and you can see it looks more like the character is walking along. You can take this one step further, and you can actually add in a motion guide to help draw this. When we walk, we don't walk perfectly straight, so maybe you draw just sort of a slightly bumpy lane for the person to walk on. Then you click on your move tool. Just make sure, actually let me just move my line up. It looks like my line is too low, so let me just move it up a little bit higher. So now I'm going to go ahead and select on the walking and make sure that it lines up on the line at the start as well as at the finish. then I can scrub through to see that it slightly is going up and down. Let's scroll up just a bit. I press Control Enter to preview, and you can see I now have my character that walks along. You could even take this a step further and add a background on a layer beneath and have the background go in the opposite direction to make it look as though the character is actually walking inside a scene. So let me just go ahead. I'm not going to do that. I'll let you do that on your own. But this is how you embed a movie clip inside of another movie clip. Now you can have multiple movie clips going on at the same time. And this is how Flash saves memory, is if you want something happening over and over, you can actually put multiple copies of the same thing inside. Except I just noticed there's a dashed line. I need to put them on their own layer as to not confuse them with the other layer. So I'm going to drag it down here, go to my library, and I'm going to put in another one, create a new layer, and I'm going to drag in another one. Now what I'm doing is I'm just putting in more instances of this asset or this movie clip. If I press Q on the keyboard or click on the free transform tool, I can resize. I'm going to have somebody walking off in the distance, and maybe I'll have someone just a little bit shorter here walking, but maybe a little bit chubbier. So I'm resizing these images, and what I want to do is add in the motion tween to these as well. And there's a dashed line. That means I need to add in the last keyframe. Press F6, and I'm going to move that one further down here. I select this one. Let me add in the keyframe first, F6, and I'm going to create a motion tween again and move that one. In fact, I'm just going to move that one forward a little bit and then have them move backwards. And so now if I preview, you can see I have the image, all of the different instances that I've created. I can press Control Enter and preview all of these different ones walking. You can see the one that goes backwards. So this is just an example of how you can create multiple movie clips inside of a movie clip and have them do different things. Go ahead and experiment with nesting or embedding a movie clip inside of a movie clip on your own.